I'm excited to share with you how to use an extension called Autocrat to do a mail merge using Google Docs. The purpose of this is to create an efficient way to offer students quick feedback on a variety of different tasks. My particular task would be an oral presentation and to provide students feedback on that. However, this could easily be translated into offering feedback on a science lab or a writing assignment. This could be used for many different applications. So take a look and see how you think it could be applied in your class. So to set this up, you need to set up a few things to get started. The first is you need to set up your form. So mine is on an oral presentation. You do need to have the student's first and probably last name. I'm anticipating doing this on 2 different sections in my class, and so I put the section there kind of for my information. And then I created a rubric by adding a grid. And from there, I could easily just create this rubric. But I wanted students and families and then myself, because this would be a good way for me to refer back to as I was scoring, to have what those different values meant. So I inserted an image of this rubric. And then I have a paragraph text here for any additional comments I would have for that student, any feedback, individualized feedback, and then a final score. So I have my form set up, and then in addition to that, I will need a Google Doc that will eventually all of that information will be automatically merged into. So I'll need to have some text with some tags that will correspond to the eventual the different criteria from my rubric. So I'm going to start with some text, and then I will put the tag, and that tag goes directly or corresponds directly with the information that's going to be pulled from that Google Sheet. So the first thing is I need to say hi to my student, and then I've provided some information about what I'm doing here. And then I wanted to give them their individual scores on each of those rubric criteria. So for in the area of organization, and then I have my organization tag, which would be pulled from this column here, and then so on. So I go all the way down through body language and eye contact, and then I have some additional comments, and any additional comments would be inserted here. And then their overall score. I want students and families to have that rubric, so I inserted an image of my rubric and then just ended that. So I have my document all saved and ready to go. And now, on the day of the presentation, as a student is presenting, or right after, whatever works for you, you could very easily add the student scores and to provide that very quick feedback. And Polly is going to be in first period, and she is so perfect, so she is going to get a perfect score. And fantastic. And so her final score is going to be 20 out of 20. And then I'll submit that. When I'm ready to see another student, I could simply submit another response, and I could have Jack Frost, and he did not do quite so well. And so on. So I would get my scores done very quickly, and then now I have on my sheet, those scores are obviously put in there. From there, you need to make sure you have the Autocrat add-on. So you can, if you don't have it already, it's very easy to add the add-ons. You just simply go to add-ons and you can search. Once you find it, you just say get, you just select the free. And then we need to launch our Autocrat. And we have a new merge job. And the template, remember I created that. That's from my drive. That's my test mail, my test template up there. And there it is. And I can name that oral presentation. And then I need to correspond those tags to what is on that actual Google Sheet. So the tag on my document was first name and my sheet header is first name. Organization was one of the rubric criteria, and it gives me some ideas of what that could possibly mean. And there was my organization score, subject knowledge, purpose, additional comments is already in there, and then the final score. And I will save that. We need to, this is what it's actually going to name the document that it's saving this for the student. So I want to name my documents by the student's first name and last name. And you have, this is really nice, you have a choice if you want to save it in a Google Doc, which obviously would be editable. So I would not want to do that for a score because a student could go in there and change that, or you can change it to a PDF. There's some advanced settings here. I want to put this into a folder, and I actually already created a folder for my test mail merge. So it's going to put all of these documents for my students into that folder. And then I'm going to save that. And then you have a choice. You can either just run the merge or preview. I always like to preview it first. And so now here is my letter to John, my first student, my John demo. And you can see he exceeded the standard in organization, in purpose he's meeting the standard, in eye contact he's exceeding the standard. Here's my additional personalized comments to him. Here's his personal overall score. And then I could go next. And here's Polly's. Another really nice feature is that from here, if I did see an issue with the template, I could go ahead and go to that and edit that. And then when you're ready to run the mail merge, you simply go to Run Merge. And in my next video, I will show you how to actually send those They're all going to end up in that one folder though.